Okay, so here's my Prius where someone stole the catalytic converter off of it, and we're going to do some experiments looking at the oxygen sensor signal, which is under the car. Okay, so there we go. Got the engine light on, check engine, and I got the computer hooked up. It is P0420, catalytic system, efficiency bank, below threshold, bank number 1. Okay, so there's our error. Okay, hello, this is Dr. Janes, and today we're going to take a look at the signal from the oxygen sensor of a Prius, Toyota Prius. And I have a very cool oscilloscope that I have hooked up, let's see if we can get this in frame, to my oxygen sensor. And I was going to drive around and take a look at what the signal looks like. Very cool, huh? Anyway, let's take a look at this. Okay, here is our sensor. I kind of wiped it off a little bit, but it is looking pretty charcoaled. There's our oxygen sensor. Look at that. Everything's all carboned up. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so here we have our Prius, and I have spliced into our oxygen sensor down there, and I hooked it up to a battery-powered oscilloscope. And let's start driving this thing, and let's see what kind of signal we get out of this guy. Okay. Backing up. Lots of fun here. I'm just curious what kind of signal comes out of these oxygen sensors. Okay. So here we go. The engine's actually off right now because we're driving on battery. It's got a bunch of spikes in there. I'm not sure why that is. Let's get it up to speed, and hopefully the engine will kick on soon. Okay, we're still on battery. See up there, we're on battery. Running only on battery, so the engine's not even running. Remember, the oxygen sensor is for the internal combustion engine, which is the greatest invention ever. It keeps us all alive today. Run by free energy called gasoline. Okay. Come on. I'm up to 19 miles an hour and the engine's not kicking on yet. 20. Come on. Okay, we're just doing regen now. Regenning. Okay. You can tell when the engine kicks on because it makes a loud noise. Louder noise. Okay, the engine's on now. See that? Oh, it was on for a second. And when it came on, our oxygen sensor jumped up. Okay. Okay, we're running on battery right now. Let's see if I can get the engine to run. Okay, we're on engine now. See that? Okay, very cool. And so we get these dips every once in a while the engine's running. And I'm not sure if they're supposed to be high-speed signals or what. It seems like there's spikes in this thing. Okay, so there is our engine oxygen sensor signal while our engine's running. Our engine is running right now. See that? Oh, no, wrong. Shut off. Okay, the engine shut off. Regen right now. Now it appears that I'm trying to reverse engineer these oxygen sensors. See, there's another dip there. Not sure if that's what the device is looking for, if it's the DC offset or what. Okay. But there's a heater, I guess, because I tripped the heater sensor when I was putting this thing on. And then there's a oxygen sensor that goes along with it. Take it out on the open road now. Here we go. We'll get her up to speed. And there we go. We see some more dips in the oxygen sensor. I'm going to have to do some studying to see what that is. Let's see what a normal signal looks like. Okay. And we're going full engine on. Lots of little spikes in there. Letting off the accelerator. And we see a dip when I let off the accelerator. Okay, the engine I think turned off for a second. We're back on again. Get some more of those dips in there. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. Oxygen sensor, the Prius. Okay. And I'm just driving around here, stopping and going. I have it hooked in. I made some special little plugs so I can hook into it. That's what our oxygen sensor signal looks like. Very cool, huh? So I guess I was doing some research on this. They have an oxygen. The way they can tell if the catalytic converter is bad is they have an oxygen sensor before the catalytic converter and one afterwards. I guess the catalytic converter is supposed to be able to store oxygen. When it gets old, it doesn't store as much oxygen, so it's like a capacitor or something. So the aft sensor will fluctuate more if it's not able to release oxygen and make the signal more stable. So a more stable signal means it's storing oxygen, and it acts like a, I'm an electrical engineer. I think of capacitance. It gives off oxygen when the system needs it. And so if it doesn't do that, it will fluctuate a lot more. And so they're looking for big fluctuations on the output of the catalytic converter. And it looks like it is fluctuating quite a bit. Very interesting, huh? Anyway, let's take a look. It took me a while. There's two wires on there. They're a voltage for the heater. There's a heater. I know that because I unplugged it and I got a heater error. So there's a heater for the catalytic converter sensor, the oxygen sensor, and then two wires are for the signal. And let's just take a quick look down there, which wires I'm clamped onto for this guy. Okay. Again, this is a cool oscope, battery-powered oscope that I bought a while back. I did a video on that. And I believe it is the black and gray wire that I'm clamped onto. Okay. And the white one are, must be the heater. So the black and gray are the sensor, and the white are the heater. Well, that's interesting. I stopped, and now the catalytic converter signal is doing that kind of hump thing. Very interesting. Let's start back up and see what happens. Drive around some more. I always thought, I couldn't tell when I was looking at these pictures. I thought maybe it was looking at every single engine fire, but I'm sure the sensor doesn't respond that quickly. This is a response on the order of seconds or so. It's like a chart recorder here. Signal moves very slowly, but it does cycle up and down as the engine goes through stops and starts and other things. It goes through power cycles. Anyway, very cool. So I'm trying to diagnose what's going on with this thing so we can hopefully fix it. Before I was doing some signals and I had it on the wrong signal, so I had some unphysical jumps. I think that was when the heater was turning on and off. So these are the two correct terminals, I do believe. Okay, so here's the passenger side of the car. There's my O-scope. And let's take a look down here. Okay. I have my two wires hooked up to the gray and the black one for the O-scope. Okay, and the two white ones are the heater. Okay, so hopefully that helps you diagnose this problem. Okay. Okay, so I just removed this catalytic converter. Let's take a look on the inside. You can see down there, it's all black. Let me take it out in the sunlight, if there's any sunlight out here. Okay, look at that. Okay, it's all black on the inside, all sooty. Anyway, that was about 1 year after I bought that thing. Okay. Okay, here's our new one compared to the old one. So you look down inside. Yeah, let's turn on the light. There, it's all yellow in there. And that one is all black and sooty. I wonder if I clean that out. Anyway. Gets to be all tarnished and everything. Okay, I'll try putting the new one on and see if that fixes our problem. Okay. Man, who would ever thought that changing catalytic converters is so much fun? Okay, let's get this thing under there. Okay, get it up in place and we'll try it out and see how it works. So I just replaced the catalytic converter, and I hooked my O-scope up to this thing because I wanted to see how a new catalytic converter looks. Hopefully I got it on the right pins. Let's go a little bit slower. There we go. Okay, let's start up the car here. And we'll take this thing for a little cruise. Okay, I guess I had the thing set on the wrong scale. There we go. I was using the scope for something else. And let's see how this thing goes. Okay, the engine's off. We're just in coasting mode. And see when it turns on. Going by going a little bit faster here. There we go, there the engine's on. Okay. That's interesting. The signal seems pretty pretty darn flat. It doesn't drop down like the other one did before. We're going down the road. Okay. It's on electric right now. Okay. I'll go out to the main road and see. Get this thing up to speed there. It's on gasoline. Okay. I see a little bit of a dip there. Look at that. Okay. That's interesting. So it looks like our signal dipped down. It did it very gradually. Unless I have the wires reversed. Maybe I got the wires reversed. It actually went up. Yeah, the wires must be backwards. So it's maxing out. So maxed out. Try rolling the trace down a little bit. Yeah, it was definitely maxed out. Let me change the scale on this thing. Okay, minus 200 millivolts. Okay. There we go. Okay. This is a signal from a good catalytic converter. It doesn't have those dropouts like the other one had. It's very almost flat. Okay, I have this on 200 millivolts per division. Interesting, huh? And I'll take a look at the wires in a second. Make sure I have those the same as before. See if they're backwards or not. Stop the car. Bring it to a stop. Okay. And let's see. We have the positive hooked up to the purple and the negative hooked up to the brown. I'll have to check to see if that's how I had it hooked up before. And there's our signal. It is slowly drifting up. And how many divisions is that? That's like 1, 2, 3, almost 4 divisions. So that'd be 180 millivolts down. Unless I have the signals reversed, and then it's 180 millivolts up. Okay. So anyway, very cool, huh? I'll drive around a little bit and see how this thing works. Okay, there's a little bit of spike and deviation. I think when the engine kicked on here. Some fluctuations, but it's not really rapid transitions like it was happening before. There's some spikes in it too. Let's see, like right there, it dips down a little bit. It's a very gradual dip. Okay, there's some more variations. It's a very gradual dip after the spikes. The motor's on. Okay. About 180 millivolts from the offset or so. Or not 180, 800 millivolts. And there we go. Very cool, huh? Okay, when I had the engine off for a while, it gradually recovered up to 0 again. Okay. That's what the trace looks like when the engine shuts off. And it's on electric right now. Let's see if I can get it to go back onto gas. Okay, the engine just kicked on because the battery was low. And over this side it was off. And at this point the engine turned on. So it looks a little bit rougher now. But it's not big variations like before. Okay. It's kind of waiting because when I let it cool off before, it kind of recovered and went back towards 0. See, it looks like it's climbing up right now. Okay. Okay, so I turn the car off and it starts to gradually return to 0. Looks like the engine came back on and it drops down. The engine's on right now to charge the battery. Okay. So that's what that signal looks like. It's very gradual compared to the other one. Okay. Looks like almost a capacitive, like a RC circuit almost. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, so I did recheck the wires, and the wires were reversed when I when I did the second test with the good catalytic converter. So you'd have to, if you want to compare the signals, the one's inverted compared to the other one. So let's look at the signals. The top one is the bad catalytic converter, and it has these very sharp transitions where it goes up and down when the engine shuts on and off, or has very, very sharp, quick transitions. Where in the bottom one, if we compare it to where the engine turns on, it has a very smooth, almost exponential type curve. And so this is very, very distinct difference between a bad catalytic converter signal and a good one. So I always wondered, I saw, these cartoons online where they talk about it, but I've never seen an actual signal and anyone explain exactly, what they're looking for a good signal or a bad signal. So anyway, very interesting. I thought it was an interesting topic. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope this helps you troubleshoot your car if you're having a problem with the catalytic converter. Anyway, this is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching.